Hello everyone, my name is Sam Biddlecombe. I am the Motion Product Specialist here at EandM, and today I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of some of the features and options available in a new Siemens operational tool called the TIA Portal Mass Operation Tool. This tool comes in two versions, a version 1.2, which is applicable for use in TIA Portal version 19 and version 20, and a version 2.0, which has all the same features but enables access to the new TIA Portal version 21 software. This tool enables the use of batch operations, which can improve your efficiency and productivity in the field, allowing you to apply the same changes or configurations to multiple devices or other objects simultaneously rather than having to make the updates individually. Like, let's say you're adding new drives, or you want to copy the parameter list or specific parameters on a drive to multiple in a system. This program can do it to up to 256 separate drives, whether they be your general purpose VFDs, your servo drives, so on and so forth, as long as they're connected to the PLC. This is really great for saving time, giving you consistency in your programming and downloads, reducing any human errors you might have that pop up in your code, allows flexibility and scalability of your existing TIA Portal projects, no matter how intensive they might be. So right here on our TIA Portal project, every TIA mass operation tool kind of feeds off of and connects to a existing Portal project. I've already gone ahead and done the copy mode here, where I've copied one drive, my drive 1, and it has now been renamed in a drive 1-1, and its copy is drive 1-2. In our devices and networks, then we make sure that our topology and our network view here is set up correctly, where a PLC is assigned to each, and our drives are represented accurately of how they are wired and daisy chained together. Now I'd like to bring over the actual tool itself and kind of show you. This is available to download on Siemens TIA Portal, and you can get the full brochure in PDF kind of breaking down what each of our operations below here do. You can also find that out by clicking the informational buttons here, as well as some other uses and tips and tricks to get started using this mass operation tool. So in the TIA Portal mass operation, we have routines, which you can run, and then those routines will run specific operations, which can be listed here and can be chosen from the available operations below. For my use today, I have created 3. It's really easy, just click create here. I did this one just to kind of show you a blank page, so I'm going to delete that now. I have done a copy routine. This is just your standard copy of the drive, copy of all parameters. I had taken a drive that I had configured based off of the VFD workshop we at EandM have offered. And then going in here, you would just choose from the drive you want to select, choose the copy amount to, because you're making a master copy of the drive, as well as a copy for the empty drive that you want to put all the parameters into. You would then choose your subnet and IO system to connect, which in this case is pn/IE_1 for me. And then you would use linear topology, basically saying we have this system integrated and wired together like a daisy chain, so that linear topology will follow as such. When doing so, your source and target get auto-assigned, and then from here, for your head module and IP addresses, you can change the numbers to make sure they match what is already assigned or in the drive themselves. And then from there, you could then save up here, save your process, export if needed, and then also start your operation, starting from the top and then going down if you have multiple. Once you do a copy of your drive, it would then show back up in TIA Portal, and you would then have these two now configured. However, like every TIA Portal project, this will only show up in the project, so a download will be needed. This download can also be done as a routine, hence my download routine shown here above. Here I have 2 operations, both download devices, which both cover separate instances of the drive. In our first one, we have our PG-PC interface here. This one we are doing specifically a hardware configuration with when we have all the options available here, software and hardware only changes, our software only changes, software all, and from here we are doing it for the 2 drives. Do note also in the 1.2 and 2.0, there is an option to just click this and add a save RAM to ROM functionality as well, making it very easy to save RAM to ROM when changing parameters in this way. We take use of this in our second download devices, which is almost the same, except now we're saving RAM to ROM at the end, and we're doing a software download also, making sure to separate the two, just to make sure you're over encompassing all the parameters and all the factors in both hardware and software to your new system. And then from here, you would just click start and you would go through the process. And so going back to our VFD workshop that we run, at this point, we would have all the drives configured, we would have the parameters set, we would have them commissioned, but now there is an obstacle that comes up where our I/O board control, specifically the potentiometer analog input, is defaulted to a bipolar input, -10 to +10 volts. However, the way we have our demo unit set up, it has to be unipolar, 0 to +10 volts. So that requires going in and changing parameter 756, which I now have actually a mass operation tool here, which allows me to drag and drop from the menu down here a set drive parameters, and in here choose which drives I want to apply this parameter change to. In this case, I just do all of them. And then on the right here, we can then define our parameter set. So for us, it's parameter 756, subnet 0, where it shows two options in our TIA Portal version 20 screen. Going back to that quickly, we would go into this, go into our parameter list, and you would see here two options, hard bracket 0 and hard bracket 1. Hard bracket 0 is where we would change this, but instead of going to each individual drive, changing this, and then performing a download, we'll be able to do all of this with the click of a button. For here, we would then choose parameter 756, hard bracket 0. We would validate this as such, a good way to make sure that the parameter you're reading is correct, and we would read that the actual value currently in the drive is value 4, which is that bipolar version that we saw in our project, as seen here, -10 to +10. And then in our window, we have the actual value, or the value we want to set it to, which is 0. And then once it would set this to, we would then go to our download devices. Once again, doing a software all, because we've only changed software, something software related in our drive, and make sure it's applicable to both drives. And then also, like the next step in our VFD workshop, we would then save RAM to ROM because we had made a change in the parameter list. And so this would be a good opportunity to now do both a set drive parameters and a download all in one just by clicking start. Once you click start, for example, going back, a log will open up kind of showing everything that it is doing. So right now it has successfully changed our parameter value 756 to 0 in both of our drives, drive 1_1 and 1_2. And then when we go back to the device here, once we start doing the download and save RAM to ROM, you'll actually see the device go online to load this configuration and save RAM to ROM. This moment might take a little bit of time, but you can see timestamps and listings of what is happening in the log. And this will also happen as well if any errors were to occur. Just move that down here. So now we're going online, as you can see, as it's saving RAM to ROM of the drive 1_1. Once that saves, it'll go offline, and now we'll proceed with downloading the device to the drive 1_2, and then saving RAM to ROM is to that as well. Just gonna move that up so we can see a little better. So now we've shown it's going online. As you can see in the project tree, it is online, just not with the page we were on, which is underneath drive 1-1. But now it's going offline on the device because it has succeeded in saving RAM to ROM. And voila, we have a green check mark. We have done executing our routine for setting parameter 756. So we can exit out of this log. We can open this back up. Everything's good here. But in our TIA Portal project, we can then, just to make sure, we're going to exit out of our drives here and then open up the parameterization list back up for each. And we'll show now that that parameter 756 has changed to unipolar for both of our drives. Here we go. So this is a very basic use of the mass operation tool. You see all the operations below where you can both copy a drive and any associated technology objects. You can copy technology objects just by themselves. You can set other drive parameters and even make a list of parameters to be added in one go, and they will just go down from top to bottom, just like the operations and the routine of setting those. And you can then also set your technology object parameters, connect drive to technology objects, and so on. This is still a very young program, so a lot of things are being added, but feel free to explore this, connect this to a bigger project, and just see where it might take you. Thank you very much for going on this journey with me today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.